Thank you for joining us today. I have Frank Choriego with me. My name is David Kreller, and we are with the Small Business Development Center at Wichita State University. Our topic today for our podcast is the upcoming Business Transitions Conference that will be held on September 26th of this year, 2023, and will be located at the Wichita State University Metropolitan Complex, which is just north of the main campus. Our topic today is, again, the conference that's coming up and what buyers and sellers and others can anticipate during the event. This event will actually have breakout sessions that will be breaking out relative to buyers, sellers, and also a separate section specifically for family business transition, which is certainly a big thing these days. I want to talk real briefly here a little bit about the event, namely towards the sellers. And I myself have gone through this a couple of different times, having sold some businesses. Emotionally, it's a challenging time. Sometimes when a sale opportunity comes up, we're not looking for it. It comes out of the blue. Sometimes it can be a bit of a pressing issue, be it because of health issues, or it's just time to have the succession in the family business, whether it's a traditional Main Street business, a farming operation, a multi-generational operation, whether it's one employee or hundreds of employees. And doing it right is certainly critical for your financial benefit as the seller, but also for the longevity of the business, your baby, your namesake, and then also for the benefit of the employees to make sure that they are treated right and treated fairly after the transaction. And so we're going to talk about a lot of different things from the seller's perspective. One thing I would share is, having been a seller, sometimes we're a little bit cautious about that. We don't want people to necessarily know. And so within the event, we will have a large grouping of people anticipated that will be, again, folks there for family business transition purposes, maybe sellers, maybe buyers. All of these folks will be coming together. And so in participating, no one's going to necessarily know which side of that equation you're on. And so it allows you that flexibility to attend freely, ask lots of questions, and gain a lot of information. From a seller's perspective, some different topics we do plan to cover. It includes the process, everything from the terminology, which we have some other podcasts that deal with the different terminology, M&A, LOI, and those sorts of things. So we're going to talk about the process, how long it takes, how to build your team, who's the key people you want to have on your group to help put the transaction together to make sure that everybody is taken care of and that it's done right and legal. And also we're going to have valuation. I think Frank's going to touch on that here in a moment, but how do you determine the value of your business? And sometimes that is a very challenging question, is understanding what is your enterprise? What have you spent your life building? What is it worth now that you're ready to hand it off to the new adopted parents? And so with that, Frank, I might ask you to jump in here and from a buyer's perspective, as a prospective business buyer, what can they expect from the event?
Thank you, David. And indeed, we are very fortunate to have David with us. He has participated as a seller in some very, very complex transactions, very large businesses. And that is definitely something that we can, as sellers, we can benefit from. And I believe he's also been on the other side of the equation as well. I have participated in acquiring business as well as divesting from businesses. Not at the same level of David, but I have participated in this type of transactions. Regarding to the buyer, what you can expect in this conference, that you will understand how to match your likes and your capabilities, personal, financial, and otherwise, to find a good match for what you want to acquire. It's very interesting. The seller is coming from a very known side of the commodity. The seller knows exactly what they have and what they are bringing to the table. And the buyer is looking for something that will match his or her needs, unless it's a vertical integration or horizontal integration. Maybe you'll know a little bit more specific of what you want. But if you're just looking for a new entrepreneurial venture, it's a little bit different. So we will identify items on the when we're speaking directly to the seller, what they should expect, how should they prepare in order to do the transaction? What are they bringing to the table? How is it going to match up with the demands of the seller? And what are the things to look for, as well as emotionally and practically, if it's a good matchup for you and your resources. So sellers will have also their own set of instructions, if you would, and identification of resources and how to make the transaction successful for them as well.
You mentioned the word emotion, and that is certainly the case on both the buyer and the seller side of these transactions. Even when it's within the same family, emotions can be very, very strong. People have built these enterprises over their lifetime in some cases, and knowing how to navigate not just through the legal and accounting piece of it, but the emotional side of it, very important topics, and we'll be trying to address those. Expanding on that, at the event, we have quite a list of very quality speakers and resources that will be there. Frank, would you be kind enough to share a little bit more about some of the speakers and what somebody can expect in attending the conference, what they will hear and learn?
Absolutely. And David, thank you for bringing the family succession section of the conference, because unfortunately, not today, but soon, Doug Coe is going to be with us. He is a state attorney, and he will be leading the family succession section of the conference, just like David will do with the sellers, I'll do with the buyers. Doug Coe will be doing the family transition. So in addition of the three of us and a few selected people that will be in our breakout sessions, we're also going to have guest speakers from the banking industry, from the lending industry. We're going to have financial planners, folks that will deal with a lot of the sellers or could assist a lot of the sellers after the transaction take place. Insurance experts, because this is a big piece when you're acquiring a business. How does the insurance play in it, and what roles can it have? Also, the business valuator. This is a key figure in the equation. These are individuals that are certified to assign value to a business by using, generally accepted principles. They are able to look at the financials of the business and other, even intangible factors when assigning the value and saying this business is worth X. And that brings a lot of other players to the same surface in order to negotiate, whether it's the banker that is going to lend money to the buyer, or whether it's the seller dealing with the real price of their business, the real value of the business, and the buyer as well. So having a business valuator and telling you how they do things and why they do things the way they do it and how they arrive to a value of a business is going to be very important for everybody to understand. They're also going to be business brokers. Business brokers are some of those folks that sometimes make the transaction go very smooth, and sometimes they're not needed. But nevertheless, I think both buyers and sellers need to understand the function of a broker and decide, after they know how it works, whether they need one or not. Brokers are very useful on the buyer side many times. So I think you can expect a very complete, very in-depth conference from where you will come out with a lot of knowledge regarding which side of the equation are you going to be, selling, buying, or looking at a family succession plan.
Very good points, all of them. And so again, for the purpose of this podcast, talking about who should attend that event, if you are anticipating buying a business, selling a business, any sort of transition, even within a family or a multi-generational type transfer, there will be information. And whether this is your first step in looking into it, or whether you have contemplated this and done a lot of research, there will be good information and good resources available. We encourage everyone to attend the event. The event again will be held at the Wichita State University Metropolitan Complex, just immediately north of campus. For more information, please reach out to us through our website at wichita.edu/workshops, or you can call us at 316-978-3193. That's 316-978-3193. Thank you, and we hope to see you in September.